Welcome to CTV News, Your Canada. It's Tuesday, September 16th. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
When Scott Marnock runs, he thinks of Canadian legend Terry Fox.
Terry Fox started his Marathon of Hope 45 years ago, and I guess I'm living proof of that hope because in 2019 there was no cure for melanoma cancer, which I've now had twice and sort of battled back. And today, through advancements, there's immunotherapies and all sorts of new treatments that have really helped me.
As part of his recovery, he's taken up running. It's led to a half marathon, and now he's training for others in Toronto and Honolulu.
Being a survivor, being surrounded by survivors that have been through all sorts of different journeys, super important. My oncologist would say they don't know what I'm doing right, but just keep on running.
That's what Keith Tapp has been doing since this run's inception.
I saw Terry Fox at the Argyle Mall when he shuffled through London years ago, and then when he died and they said they're going to have a run, I said, Keith, you saw that kid on one leg do it. Surely you can start training so you can do it.
He's one of the every-timers who've participated in each of the 45 runs.
I've got a certificate from the year one when they used to treat it like a race. And the time then was 48:52. I said, 48, I'll get 5K instead of 10 and 40.
This is also the first run since Marathon of Hope publicist Bill Viggers of St. Thomas passed away late last year. London's 2025 total is close to $100,000.
This site alone has raised $4.5 million in the history of the Terry Fox run. And Terry Fox Foundation overall is closing in on $1 billion. It's up over $850 million right now. So all this goes directly to cancer research.
To help those like Marnock.
Testament, I guess, to true hope.
Brent Lale, CTV News.
It's the only Polish-language choir in Atlantic Canada, and Rita Zubak-McDonald started singing in it when she was a child more than 8 decades ago.
That was a long time ago. I'm 92 now.
They've sung at many community events. They sang for Pope John Paul II.
Indeed, the choir from St. Mary's Polish Parish in Whitney Pier performed for the Pope during his visit to Halifax this month 41 years ago.
Oh my goodness, that was a real honor to sing for him. There was quite a big crowd then, a lot more of us, but it was just an honor, and we sang our hearts out.
Ever since I came to Canada in September 12, 1972.
Nearly 53 years to the day from when she emigrated from Poland, Ursula Melski was still singing in this choir on Saturday during an open house at the church in Whitney Pier. As for why she joined in the first place back then,
when you come to other country, you look for something that is familiar that you leave behind.
The choir is also this year's featured artist for Nova Scotia Polish Heritage Month.
The choir has played an enormous role in keeping the language alive, in keeping many of the traditions alive.
And in a room full of 3rd, 4th, and 5th generation Polish Canadians, it means a lot to pass on the songs and language to the next generation.
They sang with Men of the Deeps. They even had working men sung in Polish. So this choir is an institution.
Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Whitney Pier, Nova Scotia.
As September carries on, those who can are out enjoying what is left of the summer season at Wasaga Beach.
We go anywhere where there's sun and beach, wherever we can find it. We're on our way to Collingwood now, and they have a pool there, and we'll be out in the pool there.
With others soaking up the sun before cooler weather settles in.
I'm just taking advantage of the good weather because probably maybe got another 2-3 more weeks like this, so, and this is what I love to do.
Meanwhile, the greens are in great shape at Innisbrook Golf Course as players take advantage.
That's incredible. That's why we're out here today, trying to take advantage of the good weather and get some few rounds in before the cold weather kicks in.
Your body's loose and warm, and you don't have to worry about the elements, so it's almost like mid-season form at the end of the season.
With the course benefiting from the summer-like conditions.
That's great. Whenever you get weather like this in September, it's a bonus. So Had a lot of rounds played, and it's been really busy.
While drought a challenge earlier in the year, the lack of rain and warm conditions now benefiting local farmers during harvest season.
Just great hot weather, so we can all get out, keep harvest going. Stuff like our corn maze is open 7 days a week, so people can get out there now and enjoy the corn maze and the other things that we have at the store because there's no rainy days.
With pumpkins ready to go just in time for October.
They're done growing for this year. They've got color on them now. So now just with the great forecast, we can get all those things up to the front lawn and get them sold.
Now the dry, warm conditions will allow farmers like Fernwood to have a smooth harvest season, and that includes squash, pumpkins, and fall raspberries.
Usually they're not that high, but you could see the bridge better if those weeds were knocked down.
It's no puzzle that Brad Roth has a special connection to the West Montrose covered bridge.
We hung around down at the bridge here quite a bit and did some fishing and, catching crayfish, frogs, and blah, 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 what typical 7-8-year-old kids do.
His family's bridgeside pastimes frozen in time.
This postcard that was made back in 1970, I believe, and it was a picture of my brother and I fishing under the bridge, or beside the bridge.
But as time went on, the 144-year-old bridge started to show its age.
I noticed it was starting to look a little dilapidated and boards coming off and lights burnt out and, cobwebs, spider webs everywhere.
Roth says he wanted to remember the past, so he created his own little pieces of history, while also preserving the future.
I thought, well, make it into a puzzle, and then I came up with the bright idea of ordering 1,000 puzzles and giving the proceeds to the bridge keepers to help maybe maintain the bridge and clean it up.
That was back in 2023. Since then, Waterloo Region announced a $12 million bridge renovation project that kicked off late last month.
The money that I'm going to make for them is nowhere near going to pay much of the bill that's going to be occurred with this project, but what I thought whatever I can make will help.
So far, Roth's raised more than $2,000 for the Bridge Keepers, a neighborhood group dedicated to preserving the bridge and the community that surrounds it.
It's one of a kind. It means a lot to a lot of people, I think. People have told me stories about how, they took their first date through the bridge in their car and, snuck a kiss because it's called the Kissing Bridge.
The Kissing Bridge is expected to be closed to the public until the end of next year. So while couples wait to sneak a smooch here, perhaps they'll cozy up with the puzzle instead. Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, West Montrose.
Trading hockey sticks for golf clubs, Toronto Maple Leafs players past and present hit the links in Milton today at the Rattlesnake Point Golf Club for a great cause.
I know this team's been helping the community for years, and events like this, it's really fun to be part of.
The annual Leafs and Legends Golf Charity Classic brings together over 250 people, including current Leafs, alumni, and supporters to drive, putt, and play to raise funds for the MLSE Foundation.
Well, I think it's huge. I think it's a great charity in that all kids need sports, and it's the hardest and probably most expensive things for all kids and parents to do is to get them in the extracurricular activities.
It's a great foundation, and just bringing everyone together to support it is great to be a part of.
The goal with the annual fundraiser is to continue to create opportunities and access to the game for youth in the community and help them reach their goals on and off the ice.
We've been leaning a lot into diversity with our hockey coaches education program, and essentially it's a program that removes barriers for BIPOC youth. So we provide them access to do their coaching education, and then we actually help them find employment after.
A day full of fun hitting the green to help reach their fundraising goals. Proceeds from the tournament will go to continue supporting the MLSE Foundation's efforts to removing systemic barriers from the game of hockey. Jessica Smith, CTV News.
From the backyard barbecue to the fall fair, wasps are back swarming your food and drink. For Sebastian Prevost, a day on the job means dealing with constant stings.
Honestly, lost count. It happens sometimes you don't even notice, and you're like, oh, I got stung, and you notice later.
Wasps emerge in late summer, and they crave sugar.
All the grass cutting, a lot of the apple juices that we get, so there'll be some trees that have apples dangling from them, and the wasps love that, and they'll come and stick to us because all the juice is on us, all on the equipment, and they're flying around all the trucks.
Pest control companies are seeing more nests too.
This is kind of like a typical, hanging nest.
Experts say to help prevent wasps, remove excessive clutter like wood piles or debris, and ideally keep fruit trees further from the house.
If you're going to swipe, you're going to want to maybe do it slower motions, not quick motions, because they identify that as a threat. There's a chance that they obviously will sting you, but they can also release a pheromone that kind of warns the other wasps to this object is a threat and come help defend me.
Yeah, no reactions last time?
Doctors say most stings aren't serious, but there are exceptions.
Usually when people get stung, it's not a dangerous reaction. It will be a local reaction, painful, swollen.
This allergist says most stings can be treated with antihistamine, but severe cases may require an EpiPen or emergency care.
Usually problems with breathing, vomiting within a few minutes or 2 hours after being stung, and sometimes loss of consciousness. When you have at least two systems involved in the reaction, like hives and problems breathing, or hives and vomiting, we speak about anaphylaxis.
There's a ton of them this year.
And if you notice a wasp nest on your property, it's best to call an expert for removal.
It's mostly our front yard and all over our cars, to be honest. I think it's, like tree sap. I have no idea, but it's bonkers. And it's not just here. Like, we've talked to family across Ontario and they're experiencing the same thing.
Warm weather this week will mean wasps will be out in full force. When the first frost arrives, they will die and wasp season will be over. Dave Charbonneau, CTV News.
The film is called Can You Feel It Now? To the film's creators, it's a poetry-driven exploration of memory, connection, and ancestral teachings. A retelling of voluntary contact between Black and Indigenous people, highlighting the story around the welcomer and the traveler.
Trying to make this a voluntary meeting of two peoples in a grander context of genocide, of violence, and of displacement.
Filmed entirely in Rockies and Nipissing First Nations, the team behind it are either from the north or at least have a connection to it. Having the film debut at Cinefest in Sudbury is a special homecoming of sorts.
To have it so close to home, you can have all of these conversations that exist, all the people that you know and have seen you grown up come and support you, and for Rana as well, and for Isaac, it's really just beautiful to have our community at our disposal.
We kind of play around with this idea of solidarity between these two people.
The characters share their history, their culture through poetry. For the film's director, Isaac Valancourt, it's deeply personal.
With an experimental film like this, you have a lot more creative liberties. You could really play around with non-conventional storylines, and you could really be flexible with it. So it's also really unique.
The film is multilingual. Moviegoers will hear poetry in English, Anishinaabemowin, Uruba, Karindi, and Swahili. The film's creators say the blending between African and Indigenous languages was intentional. Everything is also subtitled.
It pushes people towards trying to imagine a future where we don't have to see the destruction, to see the resurgence of connection, of community, of these cultural conversations that really lead to a prosperous future.
Can You Feel It Now makes its world premiere tomorrow at 4 at Cinefest before carrying on in the film festival route.
Scary news as we head towards Halloween.
These ones should be at least 30% bigger.
Think about getting a smaller pumpkin than previous years.
Farmers west and south of Montreal are seeing smaller pumpkins in their patches this season, if any at all. Philip Quinn of Quinn's Farm on Ile Perrot says they're not just smaller, there's also fewer.
Usually a nice healthy plant will have 5 or 6 fruit on it for this variety, and 3 or 4 fruit on it for this variety. But we're seeing plants here with just one single large fruit and then maybe a smaller fruit on it.
Quinn says irrigation saved his crops during this hot, dry summer.
And we'll have a main line at the end of the field and pumping water down each drip tape.
Meanwhile, south of Montreal in the Rougemont area, Philippe Beauregard of Potager Montrouge says he had just enough rain to get by.
About like a few inches of water that we had at the very specific time, and so we were kind of lucky.
All right, where is he?
Both farmers say the great big pumpkins of legend that are often seen in farming contests will be few and far between this autumn.
Like soccer ball size is probably the most popular that you'll have for this coming fall.
Quinn and Beauregard both say they won't increase prices, but they also don't have an overabundance of stock of these soccer ball-sized gourds. They say farming is hard work, especially as weather patterns become more unpredictable.
It has taken a lot of work to get these to fruition, yes.
Pick your pumpkins in the patch while you can. Christine Long, CTV News.
Brianna and Eric are regulars at the Hazeldean Bakery. Today, they're introducing their one-week-old baby to the community staple.
I mean, her stuff is amazing.
From the cinnamon buns to the fresh bread.
Phenomenal.
And by far the most popular.
Fritters.
The apple fritters. We were too late today, and like, if you're going to be here any busy day, you got to be there like 9 when she opens.
However, customers tell me every day is a busy day when Lucy is behind the counter.
Saturday morning, 8:30, the lineup is out the door, down a store or two, and she still hasn't even opened yet till 9.
Lucy Sweets Bakery has been set up in the neighborhood for 15 years, taking over a bakery that set up shop here 35 years before that. Now, it's time for Lucy to retire.
She said she's getting so busy. And she said, I feel like I'm a star now. I said, you are. You did an excellent job because everybody loves you and your bakery.
She's leaving the business, but wants to leave the buyer and the community with some of her magic. Lucy is leaving her equipment, staff, and clientele for the new owner and is offering to help in the transition of the bakery.
Absolutely want this bakery to continue because not only she put so many effort on it, all her staff, and she's care about everybody.
I mean, we hope whoever buys will continue, doing the bakery, and we'll see the same fritters and stuff. But I hope she has a great retirement.
The bakery has only been for sale for a couple of days, and Lucy is not in a rush to sell. But already there is interest from potential buyers, and viewings are lined up for next week.
We'll miss you when you do sell.
Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
Will Gadd's passion for paragliding started 30 years ago.
In Spanish, they call paragliders papalotes, butterflies, because that's kind of what we are.
And there's no better place to soar than the skies above the Alberta Rockies that he calls home.
To see these mountains and these places from the air it's something special.
But until May, flying was only allowed over the park. Launching and landing was strictly prohibited unless for an emergency. But Gadd helped spearhead a pilot project with Parks Canada to allow pilots to fly in the famed landscape, a test run more than 15 years in the making.
I expect we'll have more pilots that come here just to appreciate this landscape. It's not like anywhere else in the world. I fly a lot in the Alps. There's roads everywhere there, and there's people everywhere. But here, there's big areas that are wilderness and truly wild.
Pilots can spend hundreds of kilometers in the air, so this program unlocks a new corridor and hike and fly opportunities for enthusiasts.
What the Banff National Park gives us is the route east from Golden. It also gives us a route north from Canmore. It allows us so much more freedom in where we'll be able to fly and what we'll be able to see.
While a win for the flying community, there are strict guidelines. Pilots can only use non-motorized gliders. Parks Canada also has identified specific locations for launching and landing, prohibiting it over ski hills, the Banff town site, campgrounds, and some environmentally sensitive areas.
What could be less impactful than soaring over the valley and landing in a designated spot. So pretty low impact.
Gadd is hopeful the pilot project will be expanded after its 3 years to allow more gliders to spread their wings.
I'm excited to share my sport with the world. I really love it. I think other people will too.
Terry Fikowski, CTV News in Banff.
Players square off at the concourts on Olette Avenue. The third annual event will feature mixed teams of 6 players and doubles. Games will also be played at On the Beach and Collège Boreal. The Councillors' Cup kicked off the event this morning with Angelo Marignani and Isaac Sudner beat Ronaldo Agostino and Sean Lippert. The championships will take center stage Saturday night.
It's high quality volleyball. If everyone's just walking around the downtown want to see some quality volleyball, there's going to be a food truck close by. There's going to be a bar also there, so you can sit down and watch some great volleyball. Highly recommended.
When Jake Huang went for a walk that day, he never expected to see a beaver.
It was surprising because it is the middle of the city.
So Jake started visiting the urban park daily to capture the beaver with his camera.
And it was just sort of building its dam and eating and just chilling by itself.
But Jake soon realized he was far from alone.
There's this kind of revelation that there's so much around us all the time.
The more Jake spent observing, the more creatures started appearing, the more calm he felt.
And it really showed me the importance, I guess, of slowing down.
But it was one particular crow, Jake says, who changed everything.
I noticed him right away from a distance because I was kind of worried he was injured.
He was limping, his foot twisted. But after observing more, Jake says the crow seemed to be thriving.
I saw other crows sort of like take care of him almost.
Jake named him Fabian and started documenting the crow daily over the next 3 years.
Well, they're very intelligent and they're very social and compassionate animals.
Recording the enduring love between Fabian and his mate June, which led to the couple starting a family together.
They're quite affectionate, so they would groom each other, they would spend time together.
And eventually, Jake earned Fabian's friendship. The crow would always fly over to greet him, Jake says, even after he had moved away for months.
It was so remarkable that when I came back, he just came to say hi.
How did that feel?
It felt magical, like a Disney movie or something.
Jake is now sharing his real-life movies about Fabian and all the other creatures he's encountered in the city on social media to honor our natural neighbors.
Connecting with living things, having empathy. You see this whole social life in this universe that's so different from ours, but it's just unfolding right in front of all of us. It's pretty amazing.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.